Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. So, it is the first day of training camp for the Seahawks today, it's the day when the players start to report. We get some on-the-field action tomorrow. So, we're going to learn some stuff today about who is actually showing up and who isn't, and who might be doing a hold-in. We'll start learning that tomorrow. But there's one player who apparently won't be there, and apparently won't be there ever. So it came down just about 10 minutes ago on Twitter from Rappaport that Seahawks star running back Chris Carson is retiring from the NFL due to the neck injury that he suffered last year that required him to get a big metal brace in his neck. And this is the conclusion to this story that I think most of us expected, but we were just waiting on final resolution. So, Chris Carson, his career is, at least for now, over. And given what we know about his injury, given what we know about his injury history, where he's basically gotten injured in some capacity every single year he's played football in his life, very unlikely he comes back. So that is probably the end of Chris Carson as a football player. Seattle will officially release him with a failed physical designation. Under the CBA, that allows Carson to receive several million in injury protection benefits. Seattle does right by him. So, I don't know exactly what that means for the team in terms of the money. This implies that he's going to cost a little less against the cap than he would have if he was on the team. It also implies that maybe some of the money he gets isn't even on the cap, but as I've said before, it doesn't really matter that much to me. It's not like this team, Seahawks team this year, is going to squeeze every last bit of life out of the salary cap trying to win a Super Bowl. So the couple extra $1 million that we're going to pay Carson to, you could say in some ways we owe him a little bit because he played for so cheap the first 4 years of his career, I suppose. It doesn't really matter the way it would other seasons. So I don't know exactly how the cap shakes out here, but that's not particularly relevant. What is relevant is that we are avoiding the disaster scenario of Carson trying to play again this year with that giant metal brace in his neck and having a devastating injury that ruins the rest of his life. So bottom line is money is whatever. I'm just happy we avoid that. Rappaport would go on to say that Carson will not make a retirement statement yet because there is some possibility that his neck were to dramatically improve. But this is where it stands, and the Seahawks, as they did with Cliff Averill, Cam Chancellor, and others, make sure he gets his money. So, given what we know about his neck and his injury history in general, I think it's a safe bet to say Carson's NFL career is over. And it's obviously overall a little tragic for multiple reasons. He was a good player. He was one of the best draft picks this team made in recent years. You can look at him as a 7th-round pick and say, wow, he gave us 2 years of 1,000 yards rushing. He was a decent receiver. He was a pretty good blocker. He definitely overachieved as an NFL player. Obviously, re-signing him last offseason ends up being a pretty big mistake in hindsight. At the time, it was definitely a shaky proposition as well because we knew he wasn't exactly going to fit the Waldron offense great. We knew that he had issues staying healthy. The contract as it was, I ended up finding to be pretty palatable because it wasn't for that much money and there was an easy out after 2 years. So as long as the worst didn't happen, it was going to be fine. Unfortunately, the worst, sorry, just kind of got up not that long ago. The worst ended up happening, and he played 4 games after signing that contract. But at this point, given where the Seahawks are right now as a team, that kind of stuff is not all that important. Chris Carson not being available is not the reason why this team decided to go the direction they did this offseason. So Chris Carson is moving on to other things in his life. I'm happy. I think this is the best solution for everyone. I think that this is what is best for him, best for the team. Again, I don't know exactly what it means for the team in terms of money, but that's not really my concern with Carson. Not right now. It's not my concern with this team. I'm just happy that this is finally over. I'm happy we didn't try to throw him out there and he gets carted off in week 2 or week 1, which I honestly feel like would have happened. I honestly feel like, given what we know about his condition, given what we know about his situation, that is a likely outcome to the Chris Carson story if he tried to force himself to play, or if we tried to force him. And now we get to move on with Rashad Penny and Kenneth Walker. So I think we're going to have to do a Seahawks stream on YouTube tonight. Haven't done one in a little bit here. Training camp's about to start, and now this Carson news gives us something concrete to talk about. So keep an eye out tonight for a Seahawks stream where we'll go into this in a little more detail. It's I don't know if I can call it a happy day. I'm not going to call it a sad day because I think this is the right thing to do at this point. Obviously, in a general sense, it's sad that a player who was clearly good, clearly talented, had multiple good years for the Seahawks, ends up having a shortened career. But sorry, it's that probably sounds like I'm about to start crying or something. I promise I'm not. I'm not getting like that about this one. Carson had a solid career. I'm just still woke up not that long ago, but yeah. In its own way, it's a little bit tragic. He is a player who never got to play technically a full season. He only got to play in 2 playoff games and didn't really do much in either playoff game. And now we're moving on with Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny, which, hey, I like it. I think that's going to be fruitful. I think we're going to look back on this backfield in future years as one of the better recent Seahawks backfields. But we will move on without Carson. That obviously has some roster ramifications. I might go into that later. But for now, let's just leave it at this. Chris Carson retires. He had, over the last 5 years, over 4,000 yards. He got in the end zone over 30 times. And without him, I don't know what we would have done at the running back position. It probably would have been the same mess that it was in, 2017, where we basically had, 2017 after Carson got hurt, right? It just would have been that same miasma of trash back there. So anyway, Chris Carson has retired from the NFL. It frees up a roster spot. Might free up a little bit of money, but not enough to really matter. And that is the end of that, which, hey, not unexpected, kind of sad, but also kind of relieving in a way. So, see you guys later. Like I said, I think we're going to stream tonight on YouTube. So, go Hawks, and hope to see you guys there, assuming that I do it. Yep, concrete stuff is starting to happen, boys.